Hi, my name is Kristen Schultz. I work for Clean Currents. We're a clean energy company, and I'm here to speak with you today about wind power. You've probably learned a little bit about wind power in your classes already, but do you know that you can actually choose wind power for your home right now? I know it can be really frustrating because we learn about all these horrible things that are going on with the environment in our classes, and you can start to feel like it's a massive problem and there's almost nothing that one person can do that will have a huge impact. Well, actually, there's a lot that we can do, and my company is helping to provide an option for individuals that allows you to purchase wind power and help make sure that we have lots of wind power for the future. The average home uses 12,000 kilowatt hours of electricity over 1 year. That's the equivalent of 9.3 metric tons of carbon dioxide. Yeah, a ton sounds like a ton, but what does that really mean? Well, it converts into the equivalent of the amount of emissions that a passenger vehicle would emit over the year. And if we chose to then eliminate this carbon footprint, the energy use of one home for 1 year, it would be the equivalent of planting 46.7 trees, over an acre of trees. So that's a huge environmental impact that we can have by choosing clean energy for home. So wind power for home, how does that work? It can seem like it'd be a crazy project, putting a big wind turbine on your roof, right? Actually, no. The beauty of our electricity system and our grid is that everything's interconnected through transmission wires and distribution lines, and that all electricity is created equally once it reaches our electricity grid. There are regional electricity grids around the United States. I live in the Mid-Atlantic, and we're on the PJM grid, for example. That grid spans from New Jersey and Pennsylvania, down to Maryland, and even parts of West Virginia and Eastern Illinois. So that's a pretty big area. So here we have Colin doing a demonstration of the electricity grid. All of the skittles, the electrons in this bowl, represent the different sources of power where we're currently getting our electricity. A lot is brown power from coal-fired power plants and nuclear power plants. And less than 1% is clean energy, or wind power. As you see, those green electrons, there's only a couple in there. So all of the electrons get mixed together and are created equally once they get to the grid. And then the distribution lines, represented by Colin's hand, reaches in and gets the electricity for the homes. And then you end up with a mixture of energy and not a lot of clean energy. So what we do at Clean Currents, all of our customers who choose 100% wind power, we take the amount of electricity that they're demanding from wind power and pour all those wind-powered electrons onto the grid. There they all get mixed together. And now, when we're pulling out electricity for the homes, we get many more green electrons. Now, you're still getting some electricity from those traditional sources, but you can see we've greatly increased the amount of wind power that's in the overall mixture that benefits everybody who pulls from those distribution lines. So let's go into a little Electricity 101. There's 3 parts of electricity that you should know about and that will appear on your electricity bills. You can go home and check them out on your parents' bills, or one day you'll be paying electric bill so you can see it for yourself. You've got generation, the actual creation of the power at the power plant. And then the transmission, where those electrons are traveling over high-tension power lines that you see out in wide open spaces. That's where it comes onto the grid, and from there the utility companies take over, and the distribution are those local power lines that go out to homes and businesses. The utility companies are always managing the local distribution lines. But in a deregulated market, you can choose the source of power, what generation plant is creating that energy, and then transmitting it onto the grid. Deregulated markets aren't entirely common. It's not totally across the board that everybody has the power to choose. You'll see that on this map, the states marked in green and the states marked in orange have deregulated electricity markets. If you live in one of these states, then you have the power to choose your source of electricity. So for individuals who have the opportunity to choose their source of electricity, they would choose a competitive company, like my company, Clean Currents, to supply them with clean energy. That means they would have to install absolutely nothing. They would just continue to receive one electricity bill, and they would be voting with their dollar for clean energy every time they pay that bill. Plus, it's probably not any more expensive. Sometimes wind power is even cheaper than traditional sources of energy. So at Clean Currents, we're constantly trying to help people know about their options. Because it's a win-win-win. Really, why wouldn't you choose clean energy? If it's not more expensive and it's no hassle as far as installing anything, then it's super easy. The problems come down to lack of awareness is the biggest one. People just don't know that they live in a state where they have the power to choose. And misinformation. We're told constantly that renewable energy options are so expensive. That's not the case. That's not how it is anymore. It's actually very competitively priced. Lack of trust is some of it. Utility companies have been around for a long time, and we're used to just getting the power from the utility company. Even if power goes out every now and then, overall, it's a trustworthy body to use for your power source. So sometimes people are wary of choosing another company. They think that maybe their power will go out more often, or that there won't be somebody that they can call up in the case of, some sort of electricity issues at their home. And then, of course, there's a lack of urgency. Wind power is kind of out of sight, out of mind. So there aren't a lot of extra nudges to remind us, oh, hey, there's a wind farm 2 blocks away. I don't know why I haven't signed up for wind power yet. We don't have those kind of reminders, and there just isn't that urgency because you're still always going to get electricity because you're going to have power through your utility company. So it's not a lights on, lights off type of issue. And then back to the lack of trust and misinformation, the idea of consistency for flow of electricity. Wind power is just as reliable because it's just going into that overall mixture of energy. It's just increasing that proportion of wind power. So you're still going to have a consistent flow of energy coming to your home. But sometimes people don't think that. They think wind power, and the first thing that comes to mind is, well, what if the wind's not blowing? So these are some of the problems that we're faced at Clean Currents. And we would like your help thinking about what are some creative ways that we can help better inform our customer base and bring reliable information to them and help bring compelling information so that they are really excited and ready to sign up for wind power at home. I'm joined here by my colleague, Emily Conrad, and together we face these issues at Clean Currents on a day-to-day basis. So, Emily, what are some of the ways that we address misinformation and lack of awareness?
Well, we try to reach our audience or our customers or potential customers through every kind of medium possible. We work through the internet by posting ads on popular sites or sites that people that like clean energy would go to. We also work through Facebook, and post regularly on our activities, and Twitter. When we're at events, we tweet about where we are and what we're doing.
And we follow groups who seem like they are in the same kind of frame of mind as we are, and so we'll get a lot of followers that way and build up interest.
Absolutely. We have a blog that we contribute to regularly, and also have other like-minded businesses and organizations contribute to.
And then our e-newsletter. Our e-newsletter is a really great way to provide information about just relevant environmental issues locally. So then people know that, you know, we're not just also about clean energy, but then how it plays into the bigger picture as well.
Yeah.
So that helps getting out information.
We also work on a more kind of personal basis through attending events for various community groups and the public, where we have a table and we talk to the people that come by about what we offer and about clean energy in general, and hand out information.
And sometimes we get asked to be guest speakers for community groups that want to learn more about clean energy options or things that they can do in their life to be more sustainable. So I think that helps us build that sense of trust in the community. So they know who we are, they know that we really are committed to this environmental problem.
Yeah, and we're out there, you know, on a weekly basis, talking to the public, talking to different groups, and we really want to create those personal relationships both with individuals and other like-minded businesses and nonprofit organizations.
Absolutely. And then we also have our program, the Green Neighborhood Challenge.
So the Green Neighborhood Challenge is a program where we work with various schools and faith-based groups and nonprofits and neighborhoods to get the word out about how you can purchase clean energy, and also about how to live in a more sustainable way. And we work with leaders from these different groups to get the word out.
That's right, and our specials help create a sense of urgency. If we do a gift card or a special rate or some other promotional offer that will have that just for a certain period of time, then people feel that sense of urgency that they got to sign up then.
And many people really do kind of respond to deadlines. So if we say that you only have 30 days to get this special and sign up for clean energy, that can be a lot more effective than just giving a running offer.
And the challenge is to see which group can be the most wind-powered by Earth Day. So that creates some friendly competition between those different neighborhood groups, and they all try to rally together to see who can be the most wind-powered. And sometimes with our specials, we do something with businesses to offer our gift cards. I think that helps with our brand credibility too.
Yeah, if you know that the business down the street that you go to buy your groceries every other day purchase wind power, then you may be more likely to do that yourself.
So these are some of the ways that we're addressing these challenges that we face as a business. And it's sometimes difficult on a limited budget and with a small team, but we're creative and try to use as many outlets as possible and are open to new ideas. And we've got a lot of tools on our tool belt.
Absolutely. And I think that partnerships with various groups and businesses and individuals has really made our reach as far as it is today.
Absolutely. So if some of the issues we talked about today piqued your interest and you might be interested in a career in this industry, then there are a few things you might want to think about. Emily, how did you get into this industry?
Well, I started in the clean energy industry by interning with the American Wind Energy Association. And that association represents all the different businesses that contribute to the wind energy industry. And so a lot of those businesses include engineers and kind of the more technical side that build the turbines and put them on the wind farms. They do feasibility studies to see where the wind is blowing and where the best place to place the wind turbines are, and that includes a lot of engineering and technical expertise.
So I suppose mechanical engineering would be very important if you went that route.
Absolutely.
And then if you are interested in going more to the business side of things, as Clean Currents does, we're more in the retail side. Then you have opportunities to use finance degrees or information technology. We definitely need people to keep track of managing our database of customers. So computer science, computer engineering, finance, and accounting degrees are very important for keeping our business running on a day-to-day basis. And then there's the more soft skills that come with the marketing management side. I, for one, majored in sociology as an undergraduate. I'm now doing business courses to help me with my day-to-day here. And with sales, I think there's a lot of different liberal arts degrees that you could go that would prepare you for public speaking and for interacting with clients.
It's just as important to create the energy as it is to get the information out that you can purchase the energy. So marketing and sales and human relation experiences are just as important as the technological side.
And having a combination will make you the most marketable person out there. If you have a science, technology, or engineering math-based degree, and then also couple that with knowing how to run the business side of things, then you'll be golden for life. What sort of qualities would you say we're looking for at Clean Currents?
Well, I think a company like ours is first and foremost looking for someone who's actually going to enjoy their job and really be excited about what we do at Clean Currents and believes in the mission beyond the job. And this is something that they believe is important for life, for them, and for their community.
I'd say that's absolutely number one. And then just having an open mind, feeling willing to work well with others in a team environment, and ready to roll with the punches. At a small business, you got to be able to turn on a dime and just being excited to maybe face the unknown sometimes and take it on with a really supportive team.